Good evening, everybody. I'd like to call this meeting of the Wheaton Park District together. Mike, would you call the roll for us, please?
Commissioner Vyers.
Here.
Commissioner Morrill.
Here.
Commissioner Mee.
Here.
Commissioner Kelly.
Here.
Commissioner Fry.
Here.
President Hodgkinson.
Here. All right. Presentations. I think we're going to have one probably on the pool and the and clock tower commons. Wendy?
Good evening. For those of you I don't know, my name is Wendy Russell. I'm the aquatics manager for the Wheaton Park District. Special Facilities would like to remind our residents of two great summer facilities to visit with your families. First, the Prairie Path Mini Golf Course is located on Prairie Path between Reber Street and Naperville Road. This hidden gem recently was updated with new carpet, features 18 mini golf holes, 11 which are ADA accessible. It is a great place for birthday parties, 15 of which have been booked so far this summer, or just a casual family outing. We run specials during the week. Mondays, $1 off for kids. Tuesdays, 2-for-1 rounds. And Wednesdays, grandparents play free with a paid grandchild. The mini golf course is open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Sundays from noon to 8. Come out and play around. Second facility, of course, being summer, we cannot forget about our two great aquatics facilities, Northside Family Aquatic Center and Rice Pool and Water Park. We've had a busy summer so far with the high temperatures keeping our staff busy and the pools filled. Pool passes are still on sale and are a great value. A family of 4 pays for itself in just 7 visits. Swim lesson registration is still open as well, and lessons run every 2 weeks. No matter what your age, the pool is a perfect place to cool off, take in the summer sun, and enjoy what Wheaton has to offer. We look forward to seeing our residents and their guests not only at our mini golf course and pools, but at all our great special facilities throughout the summer. Additional information can be found on WheatonParkDistrict.com. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you very much, Wendy.
Hey, Wendy, are we still selling pool passes?
Yes, we are, and
Okay.
we surpassed what we did last year today.
Cool. Thanks.
Good. Thanks, Wendy. Donna, do we have anyone signed up to give community input this evening? The consent agenda. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
Move to approve as presented. A, approval of disbursements totaling $1,251,851.03 for the period beginning May 11, 2016, ending June 7, 2016. Approval of meeting minutes from May 18, 2016. Approval of meeting minutes from June 1, 2016, Building and Grounds Subcommittee, and approval of meeting minutes from June 1, 2016, Finance Subcommittee.
Second.
So we have a motion by me and a second by Morrill to approve the consent agenda. Any questions? Roll call vote then to approve?
Commissioner Vyers.
Yes.
Commissioner Morrill.
Yes.
Commissioner Mee.
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
Commissioner Fry.
Yes.
President Hodgkinson.
Yes. All right, next is unfinished business. We first have the presentation of the comprehensive annual financial report. And I'm wondering, are we just to ask questions if Rita, if we would have any?
At this point, if you have questions, this was reviewed with the auditors at the Finance Subcommittee meeting, and we have provided a summary worksheet, as has been requested in the past, to try to lay out our longer-term view of revenues and expenses. But certainly, if there are any questions of staff, we are certainly ready to entertain them. We did poll the board, and it was determined to give the auditors the night off. So I will rely on our resident accountant, Rita Trainer, if it gets too technical.
Questions?
I move to accept the Wheaton Park District Strategic Plan and Open Space, or no, where am I? The annual financial report for the Wheaton Park District for the year ending December 31st, 2015.
Right, is there a second? Okay. We have a motion by Morrill and a second by Fry to approve the comprehensive annual financial report as presented. Roll call.
Commissioner Vyers.
Yes.
Commissioner Morrill.
Yes.
Commissioner Mee.
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
Commissioner Fry.
Yes.
President Hodgkinson.
Yes.
If I may add, I would like to acknowledge our finance department team led by Rena Trainer. We have, I do not know prior to our tenure here, but I know every year that Rita and I have been working here together, which I think this is our 9th or 10th audit. We have been recognized by the Government Finance Officers Association for excellence in financial reporting, and I see no reason why that shouldn't continue. Thank you, Rita.
Thank you. Okay. Next, we have the presentation, or we have the strategic plan. This was discussed at last month's meeting. We had a very lengthy, informative discussion and presentation by the staff. So are there any questions? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
Move to accept the Wheaton Park District Strategic Plan and Open Space Master Plan for the years 2016 to 2020.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Morrill and a second by Byers to approve the strategic plan as an open space master plan as presented. How about a roll call for this one?
Sure. Commissioner Byers?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Me?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Fry?
Yes.
President Hodgkinson?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, next, moving on, we have the recommendation to approve the retirement plan.
Jane, I move to approve a retirement plan services agreement with Sickage Capital Management, LLC, DBA Sickage Financial, at an annual expense not to exceed $6,000.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Byers and a second by Morrill.
Give it to Ray.
And this was reviewed again at the Finance Committee level?
So we've got a current provider for this that isn't acting in a fiduciary capacity. The hiring of Sickage, I think, is important for our managing our liability as a district. They're going to act in a fiduciary capacity. They're going to vet service providers to provide investment selections for the participants. Now, this is for our 457 plan, which is supplemental savings to the pension plan. And the savings is salary deferral by the employees. Having Sickage in there will bring a level of expertise as far as finding service providers in that area. It's going to save the participants money. Already they think that they could save a substantial amount for our employees who are participating in this 457 plan. And then also, because they're acting in that fiduciary capacity, it's going to relieve some of the liability that we have as a board. So it seems like a very sensible thing to do and a very reasonable cost.
Good. Thank you, John. Any other questions, comments? All right. Let's do this. Since this is an employee benefit, let's do a roll call on this as well.
Commissioner Byers?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrill? Yes. Commissioner Me?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Fry?
Yes.
President Hodgkinson?
Yes.
Thanks.
All right. No more unfinished business. Moving on to new business. We have ordinance 2016-03. Is there a motion to approve this?
Move to approve ordinance 2016-03, an ordinance adopting prevailing wage rates to be paid to laborers, mechanics, and other workers performing construction of public works for the Wheaton Park District.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by me and a second by Fry to approve the prevailing wage ordinance, which is an annual requirement for the Park District. Questions or comments? How about a roll call?
Commissioner Byers?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrill?
Yes.
Commissioner Me?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Fry?
Yes.
President Hodgkinson?
Yes. All right, ordinance 2016-04. We have a motion to approve this. Okay, Commissioner Fry?
Yeah, I move to approve the ordinance 2016-04, approving the disposal and sale of personal property owned by the Wheaton Park District.
Doesn't Bob have to read every one of those?
No.
I was,
Want me to get started?
once we get a second, I was going to point it out that it is a two-sided page document.
I'll second if Bob will read all of
Whereas the
those.
Park District owns.
What do you think? I don't know, 1,000 items in here?
We've been catching up, thanks to Donna and the department heads, on officially disposing of a lot of things we no longer need. So it will continue on into the future.
Okay. All right. We have a motion and a second to approve this. Roll call? Do we?
It's an ordinance, yeah. Commissioner Byers?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrill?
Yes.
Commissioner Me?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Fry?
Yes.
President Hodgkinson?
Yes. All right, next is the review and approval for the financial policies.
Move to approve the financial policies of the Wheaton Park District as amended.
Dated 2017.
Second.
We have a motion by me and a second by Vyers to approve the financial policies. I have one question. This will take care of one of the issues that we were concerned about that we discussed?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Any other questions or comments? Okay. Can we do a voice vote?
It's a periodic review. We can do a voice vote, sure.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion passes. All right, next we have the review of the personnel policies.
Move to table for some additional follow-up in committee.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by me and a second by Kelly, I believe, to table this, and I believe it's going to be referred back to a subcommittee for some further review, and then come back to the board after that happens. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion passes. All right, the next one is the Central Athletic Complex Chiller Project.
I move that we approve change order 2 for additional excavation due to unforeseen conditions at an additional expense not to exceed $20,166.25.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Kelly and a second by Commissioner Fry. Any other questions or comments?
Yeah, I have one.
Yes, Kelly?
Rob, did we get the letter from the engineer? I talked to Bob St. Mary last week, and I told him we need a letter from them stating that they reviewed the proposal, that they find the pricing to be fair, and that they find the pricing to be in accordance with the terms of the contract. So they were supposed to put that in writing. I do not want to see us sign that change order without them verifying that. Yeah. I mean, the change order's got a lot of detail in it, and I wasn't going to spend forever going back and forth. And as long as the pricing, I thought the excavator's unit pricing might be higher than the allowable markups in the contract. So as Solar is the engineer of record, I told them if they put it in writing that they believe the hours are fair and that the pricing meets the contract. So Bob St. Mary was going to review that and get back to you on Friday. So he did not.
Neither have I.
So I'm fine with us approving the change order, provided that we get that in writing to protect us. Should somebody come back and say, hey, who reviewed this for you guys? You're spending 20 grand. Somebody should be doing the due diligence and making sure the pricing meets the contract.
President Hodgkinson, we have a motion and a second, correct?
We do.
I think we would need an amendment to approve the change order contingent upon the receipt of endorsement from our engineer and concurrence by Buildings and Grounds Chair Kelly. How's that sound?
If you just get it from the engineer, you don't need me. But, yeah.
Well, here's my concern. You're approving it without saying it's contingent upon the letter in your motion.
Yeah, I just don't want them to wait another month if they can get the letter. Are you guys okay with, don't you want that protection for us up here?
Yes.
Somebody's done that.
So you're willing to amend your motion that way?
So I'll amend my motion that the change order is approved, provided we get a letter from Alara that states two things. One, that they believe the pricing is fair, and they believe the pricing meets the requirements of the general contract.
Second needs to verify.
Yep, I don't know.
And I don't remember who the second was.
Bob Fry, I think.
I was.
Okay,
So you
are
okay
you
with
agreeable with
Fine.
that, Bob?
We'll
Okay.
second that.
We need to vote on the amendment first.
Okay, so we're voting on the contingency.
The amendment, he's voting, you're voting on the amendment, then you're voting on the new motion. So we need two roll call votes.
All right.
Okay.
Well, then let's do a roll call then for the
Amendment.
amendment.
Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Me? Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Fry? President Hodgkinson?
Yes. All right, now let's have a motion on the amended,
It's easy for you to say, Jade.
easy for me to say, right? All right. So do we need another second, a first and second?
No, you're set.
Good,
Let's give it
okay.
a vote.
All right, so let's go ahead and have a roll call.
Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Me? Yes. Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Fry?
Yes.
President Hodgkinson?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Next is the Central Athletic Complex gym floor and bleacher replacement project.
Yeah, I move that we approve change order number 1 to, is it Kiefer? Is that who the contract is with? Rob?
I think it's Kiefer.
To Kiefer to replace the brass floor plates for the volleyball standards at an additional expense not to exceed $1,250.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Kelly and a second by Morrill to approve this, this replacement project. Any other comments? All right, let's do a voice vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. Isn't Kiefer named for Adolf Kiefer? Isn't he the founder? Adolf, I just saw this in the Daily Herald like last week. Adolf is about to celebrate his 98th birthday.
Wow.
He swims every day, gets up out of his wheelchair and falls into the swimming pool and swims.
1250 is going to come in handy for his birthday.
Okay, moving on to the Northside Tennis Court resurface.
I'll move that we approve change order 1 to add pickleball striping to 2 courts and an additional expense not to exceed $500.
Second.
All right, and this was reviewed by Buildings and Grounds, right,
Yes.
John?
Ryan, this was requested by
A
group of residents.
I received communication from residents looking for more opportunities locally.
And we only had the 1 court prior to this, so, yeah.
All right.
Outdoor court.
Right.
We set one up indoors as well, Ed, but obviously those indoor sites are a lot harder to come by for people.
All right, any other questions, comments? All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Number 8, the repaving project at Central Athletic Complex.
So I'll move that we approve change order 1 to replace a small section of sidewalk at an additional expense not to exceed $1,620.
Second.
We have a motion by Kelly and a second by Fry to approve this change order. Comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. Motion passes. Number 9, carpet replacement.
I move to table.
Right, is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, a second to table.
What's the reason?
Yeah. Okay, so this didn't come up at the Buildings and Grounds Subcommittee meeting, so this was the first time we saw it was in the board packet. And I called Rob this morning, and we have multiple layers of carpet at the community center that are in need of repair. And we've been replacing them at a room or 2 at a time going through the building. But we've been talking at the subcommittee level about the community center needing an overall spruce up. So before we keep buying 1 room or 2 rooms of carpet at a time, I asked Rob, shouldn't we take a look at all the carpet, figure out what we need? Should we be talking to our architect for the community center? I think that's Williams has kind of been looking. Should we be thinking about moving to carpet tile? I haven't been on a commercial job that's had broadloom carpet in the last 8 years. Everything's moved to carpet tile. So rather than keep replacing the exact same thing with the same product, I fear when we get done, we're going to have a building that's been upgraded, but it's still going to look like it did 25 years ago when it was built. So I'd like to see that report on how much carpet, what's it going to cost, what's our plan for all that type of stuff, before we just keep piecemealing buying a room or 2 rooms at a time.
Bob, is there anything that needs immediate attention because it looks so unesthetically appealing?
The only one
Most of
that we've seen right now, it's the office area, and I think John's suggestion is a great one, and we can take a month to decide. Forward, next month we'll talk about it, but I did a cursory review of all the rooms today, and I
Okay,
do the research.
great, thanks.
Okay. Any other questions or comments?
You got a motion and a second to table, I believe. Do we
Yeah.
have a second, Donna?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, that is tabled, and that is being referred back to Buildings and Grounds. Number 10, the recommendation to discuss the full-time position for the Parks Department.
It's on my understanding that we're moving to table that. Is that correct?
I'll second the move to table.
Yeah.
If I may, under discussion, the items are advanced as a way to begin the dialogue on what is going to be a 6-month, 5-month budget process. This is an advanced review of the information and intended to start a dialogue at the subcommittee level regarding staffing levels and regarding the abilities to get things done part-time or full-time. So I'm certainly in favor of tabling.
Yeah, I think what at least confused me was that in the recommendation from the staff, it says that would immediately seek candidates for the positions, and yet I thought it was going to be a 2017 budget item, and that's where I prefer it to be. So I agree.
Yep. Sometimes it takes a little longer to start vetting internal candidates as well as external. But yeah, Rob and I.
The last 2 years, every full-time position, we've had the opportunity to sit and go back and forth. And in a couple of cases, we've come up with ideas that staff said, yeah, let us go try that. And then, so I just think it's a nice opportunity and we didn't have any chance to discuss it rather than doing the back and forth tonight.
Yeah, it's not timely, obviously, I think Mike just expressed that it's not timely to, move to approve these things. We need more information, but, we need to take them in conjunction with the budget planning process for 2017. So, Mike, I appreciate, the head start, if you will, but I think that, based on these two positions, and I'll talk about the other one too, the athletic field specialist, between that and some of the other items we've tabled tonight, we've got a lengthy meeting or a finance committee meeting or two ahead of us. It certainly would be helpful to have as many people as we can, because there's a lot of issues here. But it's obviously timely to discuss this more in conjunction with the overall budgeting process for the upcoming year. Mike, a question to you. You talked about recruiting. What would be realistic in terms of your recruitment time? Obviously, we're not going to approve that budget, in the next month or so. What kind of recruiting time would you need for these positions if they're approved?
These positions are, typically it takes us 90 to 120 days to fill a position if we go out to the rest of the world. So the approval within the budget cycle, budget approval cycle should be fine. I mean, we'll work with the best results we get from the recommendation process through the board. So, but in general, a full-time recruitment's a 90 to 120 day operation.
Based on the timing, then, that you wouldn't start these two if they're approved until Jan 1 of 2017, will there still be a need for those positions to begin immediately on or about January 1?
I think the best case is when the snow melts and all of our seasonal labor is still doing other things like going to school or working in a 9-month position. So, I think if we can bring somebody in by the end of February, mid-March, we'll be all right. Rob and I have been working. We've identified a real significant fall behind cycle that we'd rather not plug with overtime in every case. Obviously, special events and other activities where revenue's coming in to offset the overtime it's a different story. But this period of time when the world expects their parks beautiful and we are understaffed, an additional 2 people to take some of the other have-tos in the spring, summer, and fall, and having extra hands on in the wintertime when necessary is a good idea.
Okay. Well, you can never tell about the time needed for recruitment. Depends on your candidate pool, but it sounds like we have some time, obviously, to discuss this and
Of course.
kind of see where we're going to be. Thanks.
All right, we have a motion to table. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion passes. Number 11, I think we're probably going to do the same kind of thing for the same reasoning.
Move to
is-
table.
Second.
We have a motion to table in a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, that motion passes, so that was tabled. Those two recommendations, is it better for them to be referred to the Finance Committee? If so, John, I
Yeah.
just want to make
That's
sure.
where it was in the past.
Yeah.
If I may, that's a better one as well because it's later and perhaps more commissioners can attend. Typically, it's later in the afternoon. So,
Evening. Okay, good, great. All right, next, we have the approval for the expenditures for attending the Association of Zoos and Aquarium Education Conference.
Move to approve expenditures related to commissioner attendance for the Association of Zoos and Aquariums Educational Conference and exposition at a maximum cost of $2,500 per attendee.
Second.
Right, discussion.
I'm going to vote no on this, Jane. This is not a reflection on any individual commissioner. I just object to sending elected officials out of state to conferences, particularly when we're going to have staff at the conference as well who could come back and report what they've learned there to us as a board. So, again, no reflection on any individual commissioner. I just temperamentally am opposed to expending $2,500 to send an elected official out of state.
I would just say that, there's an old adage that education doesn't cost, it saves. And I think that if you go to these conferences and participate and actually go to the educational sessions, you can bring back a wealth of information. And I had an opportunity recently, as did Commissioner Me, to attend a meeting regarding the upcoming master plan for Cowsley Zoo. And let me say it's a multi-million-dollar master plan that is going to be forthcoming. And I think it behooves us as commissioners to try and learn as much as we can about zoo operations and what the trends are and what the future may hold. And so I think going to a conference like this, even if it's a one-time thing, at this specific time would be very valuable for the Wheaton Park District. I'm in support of it, and I would like to be one of those individuals to go.
We've, at least during my time on the board and prior to that, we've encouraged board members, for the educational experience and the interaction with staff, to attend conferences. Not all of us attend all the time. To my knowledge, well, at least while I've been a commissioner, none of us have ever attended the AZA. Mike can speak to his attendance, but he's speaking from a staff perspective. But I don't think it can be any more timely than this. These aren't vacations. I don't take vacations to go to educational conference sessions and attend exposition halls, to be exposed to new products and services. So, this is an opportunity, especially now, with what we've done with the zoo or we're going to do, to attend something that I think can be beneficial. But at the same time, I'm not going to take the position that we can't support, a budgeted expense of conference attendance that, would significantly limit us. And certainly there's no legality, there's no policy issue that would preclude us from attending a conference. At the same time, again, we don't all go all the time to all of these conferences, but I think it would be very timely to go to this particular AZA conference. And I intend to go, unless the board rejects it.
Okay, any other comments?
So are we just looking at sending two?
I believe two commissioners.
Nobody else was, okay.
Any other comments? All right. Do you want a roll call vote, or do you want a
Expenditure.
It's an expenditure. All right, let's do a roll call.
Commissioner Vyers?
No.
Commissioner Morrill?
Yes.
Commissioner Me?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Fry?
Yes.
President Hodgkinson?
Yes. Okay. Next, motion passed. Next, we have
You get
the
one.
2015 athletics
vacations.
report.
They were for somebody. Sorry, Jane. We're having some offline discussion here.
All right.
Stop.
Next, let's have the 2015 athletics department report.
We have, I believe, our entire athletics team here. Fellas, you want to stand up and be recognized? Mark Gartland, Jay Diener, Daryl Houston, Rob Sheridan, Brad Keene, and their illustrious leader, Mary Beth Cleary. They stand ready to answer any questions you may. What? I said him. Rob, stand up again and wave.
Yeah.
There.
Got you, Rob.
Certainly, there's no reason for them to come to the podium unless you want to speak with them directly. But I want to simply share my appreciation for a job well done and positive impact on many, many, many thousands of people in Wheaton and beyond. Thank you.
Can't we have them all make a speech?
All right. Questions, comments?
Just a very good report, a lot of detail, a lot of information. The statistics are wonderful. Obviously, we do a great job with youth sports and in all different aspects of youth sports. We seem to be falling down, from my perspective at least, in the adult area. And there, I think, needs to be some reemphasis in trying to develop and encourage more adult activities, adult sports. Pages 43 and 44, I've got a lot of comments in regards to the future of the Wheaton Park District Athletics. I'll share that with Mike, and Mike can share it with the staff. I won't take everyone's time because I've got to comment on all 10 items, or there's more than that even. But very good report. Thank you very much. We do a wonderful job in the Wheaton Park District, and I do congratulate you all for your hard work. I know, having been there and done that, it's not an easy task.
Great.
I'll have to echo Ray's comments on the report. Is fantastic. And a special shout out to Rob, Jay, and Daryl for your awards. Congratulations. And I was shocked to see the amount of money we save by volunteers. And that just goes to show you how well the program is run with the volunteers and what they're doing. Great job.
Terry?
Who actually put this together? All together? Not possible, Brad. You all didn't do it together. It'd be kind of crowded in that room, wouldn't it? So,
We only give them one computer.
no doubt. That's a little too close, man. I appreciated the introduction statement. It kind of framed it a little bit, and then there was a nice reference to the Central Athletic Center, and the benefits to the new programming and so forth. The page and a half dedicated to recommendations for the future, significant. A lot of money there. I hope you are going to prioritize some of that stuff. But, yeah, it looks great. Just obviously it's going to take time because it's a pretty expensive venture. But I think you did a really great job in it. One last question from me, just because, it's of interest in the scheme of football and this concussion deal. I noticed once again that we've got a little more flag football attendance and a little less tackle football. Are we still recruiting for the tackle football for the year, or are we done with that?
We are still recruiting for the tackle football program. We just had some equipment pickups this weekend. We also had our first large coaches clinic where Northwest came in and talked to our coaches about concussion protocol and things to help families and kids understand it better and make sure that they're safe.
It seems a little early to draw any conclusions right now. It'll be interesting to see, but I noticed that we have, at least according to this report, there was one less team, is that right?
Correct.
Last year, is that correct? Okay. But do we still seem to be on pace for 2016?
Right now, we're slightly down versus prior year at this time. The football board is pretty confident with the activities and marketing that we're doing. That will be even to last year.
Good. Thanks, Rob.
Other questions or comments?
Just one final comment, if I may. You know, there's always the back of the house, as they say at Arrowhead, and I want to recognize the back of the house in this case, which is Deb Seymour, Paul Stanzik, Rob Spurl, all the people that make these facilities indoor and out top notch in the metropolitan area, and couldn't be done without them. These two divisions and departments form an excellent team.
Agreed.
Good. I had a question. It came from some of the parent evaluations for basketball, and it sounded like they were wanting more practice time than what was being allowed for them, and I wondered what we were going to do about that to give them the practice time, or is it a question of facilities or availability?
And it's a question of facilities. We format our programs for in-house basketball to have one practice a week for an hour and games on the weekend. Travel basketball, 2 practices a week for an hour and a half each, and then games on the weekend. Obviously, everybody wants more practice time, but we need to fit in so many sports into all of our facilities, and it's hard to even get everything in. It's like a square block into a round hole.
So they're already getting an hour practice time for in-house basketball?
For 3rd through 8th grade, they do. For kindergarten, 1st grade, and 2nd grade, the way we formatted it was that they practice
The 20 minutes before?
They practice the 20 minutes before, and then they play a game that is controlled with the coaches and the referee.
Okay. And you would know better than I do, the 20 minutes is sufficient for that age group?
Well, the first week, it's all practice. Then after that, we try to offer it to give them an introduction to league basketball when we had this facility space on a Friday night. We just don't have it during the winter on Saturdays, and in the fall. When we don't have as many winter sports going already and some off-season sports going, we're able to do it on Saturday, but we don't have the facilities to have those practices during the week at locations because there's just too many teams.
Okay. Do we not use elementary schools?
And that's what I was going to ask you, was we are not using schools?
We do use elementary schools, and unfortunately at some of the elementary schools we don't have adjustable baskets to use, but we use the elementary schools, and we use those heavily.
Okay. Well, I wondered if it was a facility issue and not just that we had changed our practice in terms of practices. So
right, we do fulfill what the description is, and we have been very specific on what we can offer, and we try to meet as many individuals in the community as possible to give them those opportunities.
And do you still feel like the kids are getting a good introduction and that they're learning basic skills? Because I always think of basketball programs and baseball and so forth as being, these are great feeder programs into other programs if the kids want to go into more advanced sports.
I believe at the K through 2nd grade level, yes, they are.
Okay.
And the reason why I believe that is because they do want more practice space, and they want more and more because of the fact that they're enjoying what they've already been participating in.
Yeah. Well, it's so great, and my kids went through it. I'm sure a lot of us had kids that went through it, and we really appreciate all that you're doing.
Thank you.
Other questions or comments? Okay. Any department reports that you have questions about? Yeah, John, I'm going to start with you if you have any.
Yeah, and I hope I'm not going out of order if I go back to the financial reports from the beginning of the meeting, but I wanted to make a couple comments on that because it's a good reflection of the financial condition of the district. Number one, the budget last year was up 1% year over year, so rest assured that we're keeping expenditures to a minimum as much as possible, staying within budget. We went through 2015 and were able to do a refunding of a large portion of our bond issue. We saved the taxpayers over $2 million by doing that, and we're able to restructure the debt repayment in such a way as to keep the levy flat for taxpayers as well, which was an important accomplishment. I'm looking at the outstanding bonds that we have, which total about $36 million now. And looking at our schedule of repayments, we'll have 2/3 of that paid off by the time we get to the end of 2021. So we're on a pretty good pace as far as getting the debts paid off as well. We've been making judicious use of the debt service extension base each year to levy, to be able to take money and save it for capital expenditures. It's important for us to do that on an ongoing basis. We have a large physical plant. We had some comments earlier about the condition of the community center and other facilities throughout the district. And if we're paying for that stuff on an ongoing basis, making sure that we're keeping up with maintenance, we're being good stewards of Park District property, and we're saving and having to come to the taxpayers for a large referendum at some point to get caught up. So that, again, is wise use of our assets. Our thing is that there's mention in the report of IMRF, which is the pension fund that our employees participate in. It's reassuring to report to taxpayers that pension fund, that pool of funds, is 90% funded. So when you hear about the unfunded liability in the state of Illinois and different pensions, it's not IMRF they're talking about. It's not something that the Wheaton Park District taxpayers are going to have to be worrying about coming up to make up a liability shortage, so it's in very good shape. I think I want to compliment Mike. That's pretty strong leadership at the top to have such sound financial situation. Rita and Andrea and the rest of the team in finance, and really all the department heads and all the folks throughout the Park District who work hard to stay within their assigned budgets, to have top-notch programming that draws in residents who the revenue for that programming is a huge part of what we get done. So when you see all the complaining and commiserating about the financial situation of government in the state of Illinois, you should rest assured that the Wheaton Park District is not part of that problem.
Thank you, John.
Thanks, John. All right, Ray, did you have comments?
Yeah,
too?
I just wanted to congratulate the staff on the Wheaton Wings Spring Soccer Classic tournament that they held with 199 teams. I had an opportunity to be in Seven Gables that Saturday for my grandson's soccer game. Wasn't part of this tournament, but was impressed with the signage and the police presence, directing traffic and helping people get across the street safely. And it was just a job well done. And so congratulations to the staff. That's a lot of teams and a lot of people impacting the community, I think, in a positive way in a very short period of time. So thank you very much. Great job.
Terry?
Yeah, I sent out a belated commendatory note to Mike and the staff, as many staff members as I could fit into my email message pertaining to the significant effort in, pulling off a great Taste of Wheaton. Having been there for, off and on for at least 3 of the 4 days, and had a chance to work with, staff and Ray and Mike, doing some cooking for the Pause for Breakfast. I'm telling you, it was probably one of the best tastes. Now, we were aided by Mother Nature, all but for a couple hours, but, it was significant. That downtown was just hopping, it was vibrant, but, Mike, you and the staff did a great job of, really pulling something significant off in the downtown area. So, hopefully the City of Wheaton recognizes, the effort, but certainly we do. So thanks for, everything that you did, because that's some long hours over, 4 days, and I know that there's a lot more planning that goes into it prior to that. So great job.
Anyone else? All right. Mike, were you going to give us any kind of report at all?
We have a master plan stakeholder focus group meeting for Memorial Park coming up on Wednesday, June 22nd. The results of that meeting, as well as preliminary staff and consultant thoughts on what may happen at Memorial Park in the future, will be available on our website for further comment. Again, that's June 22nd. There are 3 meetings. At Margie, help me. There's a 5 to 6 o'clock meeting. 1 p.m. 6:30. And 6:30. And again, if any residents can't make it, certainly we will have access on the website to commentary, or staff and myself are very open to sitting down with anybody interested in the possible future at north side, at Memorial Park, which is our first park.
And it's going to be held at the Mary Lubko.
Lubko
Center.
Correct, thank you.
Okay, good.
That's all I have.
Okay. And the only thing I was going to mention, it kind of ties in with what you were just doing, Terry, was that I understand that Councilman Rutledge congratulated the Park District Monday night at the city council meeting on a job really well done for Taste of Wheaton. So I thought that was very nice. All right. I believe we are going to move into a closed session, so I'd entertain a motion.
Move to adjourn to executive session.
B?
Where are we? For the purchase or lease of real property, 5 ILCS 120/2 C5.
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Byers?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Meade?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly? Yes. Commissioner Fry?
Yes.
President Hodges?
Yes. Are we going to be reconvening afterwards?
No.
Okay. All right.
We'll reconvene to adjourn.
Okay,
So
just-
yes, but no action.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Well, thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. And I guess we'll be meeting in the small conference room over there. Yeah.